Good morning and welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. We've got your HCC News and Information for the next half hour. Thanks for joining us on Facebook Live and YouTube. Our rebroadcast, you can catch it at noon and 5 p.m. on HCCTV. We got some special guests for you today. We're going to take you out to the online college. And we've also got a guest who joins us every couple of weeks. We'll be back with them in just a second. My co-host this morning, Dr. Tony Rayo-Sutherland. It is a Wednesday, so we're about halfway through the week, Tony.
And it is September 1st. We are into September. That's
hard to believe.
Fall, summer over, fall's coming, Labor Day's coming. And they say, Labor Day after that, you can't wear any white. At least they used to say that.
I never get that memo each year. And, I always wear white after Labor Day, and I'm always told I'm wrong by my wife. But there's nothing new there. That just happens on a daily basis anyway. But I regress. Anyway, so, Tony, we mentioned social media. If you don't catch our show live, as I mentioned, we're on HCCTV now. We rebroadcast the daily shows at noon and 5 p.m., but you can always catch us in social media.
Absolutely. Look for Houston Community College District on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and so much more. All the social media, we are there.
We're all over the place. Well, figuratively and in social media, literally. But anyway, you get what I mean. Hey, we've got a couple of special guests today. One of them is on the show every couple of weeks. He's an HCC grad. He lives out in the San Francisco area, and he's a sports podiatrist, Dr. Christopher Segler, known as the Doc on the Run. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Hey, doing great. Thanks for having me here today.
Good to see you again. I know you've got some great tips for our potential runners or maybe beginning runners. They'll want to tune in with your segment in a little while.
Yeah, we'll get into some of these details and hopefully I can sell some people on this idea.
All right. What idea is he going to sell us on? You'll have to stick around and find out. Tony, you've got a very special guest joining you, and I believe you two know each other. Tony Rayo, why don't you introduce us?
Yes, Dr. Margaret Ford Fisher. She's the president of Online College. Hi, Dr. Fisher. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Dr. Rayo-Sutherland. It's so good to see you and all the members of the team. Delighted to be here.
Yes, and online college is kind of new to most of us. I mean, it's not brand new, but it's kind of new, and it's a very needed thing nowadays. Tell us a little bit about this online HCC online college. It's a college on its own. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's really marvelous because the vision of the chancellor was that we would expand from the discrete offerings, which we've had for many, many years, more than 25 years of offering distance education. And the instructors were very, very innovative to begin developing distance education courses. And then with the digital age, they began moving into the computer-based courses. And when we were established as an online college, we decided that we would package certificates and degrees so that students could very easily see what that pathway would be and what the progression would be through to completing a certificate or degree. And we have all of the student services components as well that are integrated into the online college. We have the student engagement activities that are also a part of the online college, such as the student government association, esports, etc. So it really provides our students with that experience where they can work, and many of our students do work full time, but they're also able to complete their credentials online. So it's really marvelous. And we're finding that since the inception of the online college that we have steadily grown every single semester. We have steadily grown. And so the potential for all of us is just really one that we cannot accurately chart right now because it looks as though the opportunities are vast for us in serving our community.
Well, it's certainly great for working adults. I mean, you can find the time with online. There's different kinds of online, but it's online on a schedule or just plain online anytime you can get to that computer. So you can be midnight, and do your work. And so I think that's just wonderful. And now, can you get financial aid and things like that just as well for online college?
Absolutely. You can get financial aid as well. And there is no differentiation. In fact, we have students who go face-to-face. We have students who are online. We have students who use the hybrid approach, depending upon where they work and where they live. They may choose some of the online anytime courses that they take, and others may decide, okay, I'm going to go to campus and take a course as well. So yes, they can get financial aid. They can have access to those experiences on the campus while they're on campus, or to engage fully online with the student engagement activities there. So all of the benefits that are available to our building-based students are available to our students who are virtual as well.
And I understand a lot of companies are willing to pay for tuition for students that are going online because they don't lose them as an employee. They're not missing hours. What do you know about that?
Well, quite a lot. When I was
I'm sure you do.
college, and I was there for over 20 years, we worked with a number of companies that would provide our students with the tuition reimbursement. And that's really a good thing because the businesses saw the tuition reimbursement as an opportunity to upskill their workers, to provide them with greater opportunities so that they could not only be of benefit to the company where they are, but that they can move up into administrative positions as well, which is really very good. So once again, there is no differentiation there, whether or not the students are studying on the campus or virtually online, that they still have access to the tuition reimbursement for those companies that provide that. So that's really a good thing. I went to an office 2 weeks ago. I filled out an application and I had Houston Community College on there, had a wonderful, engaging conversation with the lady who was there, who indicated that she has a bachelor's degree. She's from Indiana. She's working at this office and she loves HCC. And she made reference to all of the online courses that she's been able to take. She's not missed a beat. How terrific it is because all of those classes have been sequential. She's been able to move through a program. She has access to the counselors. She has access to the advisors. She has access to everything that she needs. And so I sat there waiting for her to finish all of what she had to say in all of the debates about HCC before we could get on with the reason why that office. So I think it's really magnificent what HCC has provided for the community. And I think it's wonderful as well, the way the community is responding. So HCC online, anytime, anywhere, you can take them anytime and you can take them on a schedule. And for those students who want to go to a campus, they can do that as well. And one of the things that I want to say as well is to dispel that notion that somehow or the other, that being in a building is better than being online. All of the research shows that it's not the building that makes the difference. It's the instruction that makes the difference. And so when the faculty members are fully equipped to teach online, they have all of the resources that they need. They are fully engaged with their students, and the students have the technology. They understand the learning management system. They feel confident. They have the discipline. They are committed to studying online and doing the work on a time schedule, and they can engage with their instructor and their peers, that they do well. So I think that it is really magnificent the way we are evolving into an institution where more opportunities educationally are made available for the residents of our service areas.
Now, I know there's some lessons that we've learned in developing the online program. What are some of those?
Well, I think it's really critically important that there is an integrated format throughout the institution so that online is not just in one unit, but is integrated throughout the fabric of the institution, that everyone is on board, that there is the appropriate training that is provided, that you have the appropriate technology, that it's sanctioned from the very top level of the institution where everybody understands that's the way we're moving, that we have all of the up-to-date technology, that we have the curriculum, that we have the rubrics that's created for us to measure the success, and then we're able to look at the outcomes also associated with the learning outcomes of the students so that those can be tweaked as needed. So there are a lot of lessons that have been learned, but what I'd like to indicate to everyone listening is that we have dedicated faculty, we have well-credentialed faculty, we have committed faculty and staff who are committed to student success. And so for any student in our community who's interested in studying at HCC, you're a working adult, homebound student, whatever the case may be, and you want to work toward a certificate or degree, consider, yes, online, on a schedule, going to the campus, or also consider online anytime, because HCC has provided all of the tools and resources necessary for our students to become a great success. So it's not too late to register. Second start is coming up. September the 20th, you can enroll. So I encourage you to consider HCC as you continue to move forward to achieve your educational goals and objectives. We are here to serve you.
Well, I'm one of your online faculty, and I have lots of fun with my students online, and you get to have a good relationship with them. One of the things people say, well, we can't have a relationship with them online. Yes, you can. I mean, there's many ways, and it can be a whole lot of fun too. Just real quick, COVID made it a little easier, don't you think, for online?
Well, you know, it's really interesting because COVID really helped to dispel a lot of notions that people had about online, because for the most part, many individuals learned how to teach online, how to serve students online. The students were able to experience online. And so now what we're finding is that, yes, we have students who want to go back to a campus and have that face-to-face interaction on campus, but there are many who are saying also, oh, I like online just fine. So I know that I'm able to engage. I know I'm able to achieve the goals. I know that I'm able to achieve success. I know that I'm able to engage with my peers and with my faculty members. So yeah, this is really good. And I think one of the beneficial aspects of it is that online, anytime is exactly what it means. So you can have your day job, you can do what you need to do during the day, and you can study at any other time during the day or the evenings, weekends, whatever works best for you in order to move forward in a very, very positive manner to complete your credentials.
So if you want to go online, go to hccs.edu/online.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dr. Margaret Ford Fisher, the president of the Online College. Always great to see you. Thanks for being here this morning.
You are so welcome. Thank you for the invitation. Delighted to be here. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Ford Fisher.
Thank you, Dr. Ray Sutherland. Always a pleasure.
All right, we're going to put some information in some links in our social media posts so you can find the online college. You get all the information to explore the program. All right, Tony, stand by. We're going to check in with you in just a little while for the news and information. We've got Dr. Christopher Segler join us. He's known as the Doc on the Run. He's a sports podiatrist out of San Francisco. Many years ago, he graduated from HCC, so he got his start here. Chris, always good to see you. You've got a tip you want to sell all of us on today. You know, a lot of people ask, you know, I do run a lot, and they say, well, like, do you stretch? I'm like, no. Do you do any warm-ups before you run? I'm like, no. What do you do? I just go out and run. That's what I do. But you're saying I need to look at things differently besides just running.
Yeah, that's right. You know, and I mean, I'm a physician, right? And so when you hear a physician say they want to sell you on something, you start thinking snake oil or some kind of special vitamins or essential oil or something. And that's not what we're talking about selling here. I mean, you know, if you just step back for a second, you think about our healthcare system. We as physicians only get reimbursed for treating illness or injury. And there have been lots of times that people have made the argument that, you know, a doctor's not necessarily motivated to keep you from getting injured or sick because they only get paid when you get injured or sick. And so what we're going to sell you on today is this idea that you as a runner can avoid injuries with some really simple things that can really help. It is about prevention. But, I mean, it's really necessary. And I don't sell any kind of program that tells you how to do exercises or stretch or whatever to prevent injuries. But what I'm going to try to convince you of today is that, stronger runners, more than anything else, are going to run stronger races. And if you think about it from that perspective, you might buy into this idea. But if you just hear that I'm trying to keep you from getting injured, it's not really very interesting to most runners. Just like you said, you don't really do stretches and you don't really warm up. Those things might help, but there's actually something else that I think can actually help runners run more with a much lower risk of injury, and that's weight training. And it does help you run faster races because you're stronger when you actually do weight training. And, I'll tell you that I get lots of excuses. I talk to lots of elite runners, and when I ask them about weight training, the things that I generally hear are one of three things. Number one, I don't have the time. Well, that's not true, and I can tell you that for people who are injured, if they could go back and spend a few minutes a day with a little bit of weight training to feel stronger, feel better, run faster, not get injured, they definitely do it. The second thing is that we as runners, we have to use slow twitch muscles, which you develop over time by running lots and lots of time over many years. And the sort of percentage of the muscle fibers becomes more slow twitch than fast twitch. And so some runners will understand that and say that they're a little concerned if they go to the gym and do lots of squats or something, they're going to wind up with more fast twitch muscles that aren't really useful to them as marathon runners. And then there's the people who, training for the Houston Marathon, they look at the people that win, they see an Ethiopian who's, weighs 90 pounds, and they think that the lighter they are, the easier it is to run long distances. And that's true to a point, but there is a small increase in muscle mass, although it can add maybe weight percentage wise, it can make you so much stronger that it's worth it. So they're really a bunch of lame excuses that I hear from these runners, even though they're backed in some kind of sound reasoning.
So, Chris, are we talking hours a day in the weight room, or are we talking, is this something you can do maybe in 10 or 15 minutes once a day, every day, maybe work on different muscles? What do you suggest?
Yeah, that's really it. It's really trying to address things that you don't normally work on. And if you think about this, if you have a muscle that's very, very, very weak and can only sustain a small amount of effort, and you only do a tiny bit of exercise on that one muscle, you can literally double or triple that muscle's strength with only a few minutes a day. And so also people, a lot of gyms are closed depending upon where you are in the country. A lot of gyms are closed, and a lot of people don't want to go to the gym even if it's open. And so, even if you do these exercises at home, we're not talking about an hour a day. We're not talking about 30 minutes a day. I mean, if you do a few exercises that address those key muscle groups that actually add some stability to you, that will potentiate your form and make you able to hold your good running form longer, that's where the payoff comes in terms of being able to not only run longer races, feeling better and finishing faster, but also to help prevent you from wobbling and loading things in a way that can injure you as you're heading, down Memorial Drive in that final stretch of the marathon, when after all those miles and you finally hit those hills. Well, that's where you need a little extra strength. And that's where people get injured, is in those final miles when they're actually falling apart. So, we're talking about a little bit of time, a little bit of additional strength that actually percentage-wise is a tremendous gain. That's what we're talking about.
And are we talking, I imagine you can buy like minimal sets of weights. You don't have to go out and buy the new Lululemon $5,000 home gym or anything like that. You could go get yourself a few weights and maybe some dumbbells or something like that. Or is that what you're talking about?
At most. And in most cases, you actually don't need that stuff. And it was really, I don't know how I found this, but I found this thing on Netflix during the summer, and it was called something like the prison workout or something. Yeah. And what they said is that, these guys are locked in a tiny little cell the size of your closet, right? And they develop amazing strength doing only body weight exercises. And they, it's talked about how it is that with just proper form and body weight exercises, you can develop a tremendous amount of fitness. And most of these exercises we're talking about, I think it's sometimes helpful to have weights, but you don't really need them. If you hold your arms perfectly stretched out to the side with your palms up and move your arms around in circles, in about 30 seconds, your shoulders are going to be killing you, because when you stretch your arms all the way out straight, they're pretty heavy with all that leverage. And so it's really a simple thing where, yeah, sure, it can help. I use a few weights, but I don't have a whole rack of weights in my house.
Right.
And I literally do maybe about a 10 or 15 minute routine on a daily basis that I think makes a huge difference in terms of making me feel better and be able to remain more stable in my running form for much longer. And so, you don't have to have a lot of equipment. You don't have to have a gym. You don't have to have a weight training coach. It's just a very small amount of thing that target those specific areas that actually do start to fall apart when your form deteriorates.
Well, you bring up some good points, especially when you said earlier about not all gyms being open, depending on where you are in the country. Here in Texas, especially in Harris County and Houston, we've got these COVID variants. We're under condition red once again. A lot of people are afraid to go to the gym. I mean, that's reality. And then there are a lot of gyms which may have closed down at several apartment complexes. They're very small spaces. They don't want to have the liability. So people are looking at getting equipment in their home. And you're saying you can do it with some very minimal weights. And maybe next time on the show, you can give us some ideas of what you can go out there and get in some of the exercises.
Yeah, I think just knowing a few exercises. This is the thing. If you go, search on YouTube for exercises for runners, I mean, if you did all the exercises that are suggested on there, you could spend your entire day.
Yeah.
And if you kind of just simplify it to just pick a few, because something is better than nothing in every case. And if you have this routine, and I do this, I go run, and when I come back, as soon as I'm done with my run, I do like this weight routine that I do. And so it's only 10 minutes, 15 or something like that. It's a very small amount of time, and it's very easy to include it, particularly if you're already in your workout clothes and you don't have to have a bunch of fancy equipment. So yeah, we can talk about all that next time.
And you're already warmed up from the run. So there you go. You don't have to warm up. All right, Dr. Christopher Segler, he's selling us on an idea to keep us from having to go see him after we injure ourselves. So listen up. We're going to, you can find him in social media as Doc on the Run. We'll put some links in our social media post. You can always also sign up for his newsletter. It's free, and he gives you great tips on a daily basis. Okay, Chris, we'll see you again next time, and we'll look forward to hearing about these exercises and what we need to get to prepare.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Okay, we're going to move on to our HCC News and Announcements. First off, Tony, some good news. We've got a bit of a long weekend ahead of us.
Yes, we do. Labor Day weekend. Can't wait for it. Monday, September 6th, we are off. And so is Up to the Minute. So everybody gets a day off, a long weekend, and then we'll come back and start working hard.
Yes, that's right. That doesn't mean we're going to stop working hard for the rest of the week, because they don't really like it.
We can still look forward to it.
We've got to work through Friday. Friday, end of the day.
All right,
and then you get the 3-day weekend. So just want to make that clear. We can't take off early. Although some people take off Monday afternoon and you never see them for the rest of the week. But that's a whole different story. All right. HERF-3 emergency aid for students. This is a very important thing for our students. It'll basically help you not only pay for your college, but help you with housing, maybe childcare, transportation, food, things you need to function to get to college. We're here to help you with that. HCC received $59 million from the Higher Education Emergency Relief Fund in response to the COVID pandemic. Currently enrolled students for fall 2021 or spring 2022 can apply for funds to cover the cost of attendance. And that's not just for tuition. It's for fees, books, childcare, healthcare, food, housing, transportation. You can use it for a wide variety of things. You have to be enrolled for the fall. Students can start requesting the funds today. You need to go to the website today. We'll have a link in the social media post after the show. And Recipe for Success Fall Workshops. That's happening as well, Tony.
Absolutely. We have virtual workshops to help you succeed a little bit better at HCC and any kind of work thing. How to win at math. Math was always a challenge for me, and it's a challenge for a lot of people. But hey, we have something. The URL is called Tiny URL, which I think is kind of interesting. Tiny, TINYURL.com. And then go to How to Win at Math. Go there and you'll learn a little bit about how to win at math and get over the anxiety of it. Then there's also, and that starts September 8th at 11 and 6 p.m. Then the same URL, except this time it's Communication Skills for Success, is September 9th at 11 o'clock. And this is telling you a little bit about communication etiquette. You'd be surprised how far you can go if you understand a little bit about the etiquette in talking to each other when it's a professional thing or a non-professional. You can move forward a whole lot with that. That's at 11 o'clock, September 9th. And then the last of the three that we've got coming up is September 15th at 11 and at 6 p.m. It's called Effective Note-Taking Methods. And to me, that's one of the most vital things a college student can learn is how to take notes effectively. Sometimes people take notes and then they go back and look at it and they have no clue what they wrote. But these are some good methods to help you learn how to take notes so you can learn from them later.
There you go. That's right. So note-taking is always important. It'll help you in life. Trust us. We all know. Hey, Bedichek Orman auction needs your help. The upcoming Bedichek Orman auction to be held Saturday, November the 6th needs donated items, and they want you to register for the event. They support worthwhile professional development opportunities for adjunct and full-time faculty at HCC, opportunities that in turn impact the growth of our students. There are many ways you can help the Bedichek Orman folks. We'll put a link in our social media post on how you can do so. I want to skip on down for the sake of time and just let you know that we do have, as Dr. Ford Fisher mentioned, there is the second start semester kicking off on September the 20th. So if you want to enroll at HCC, you missed out on fall, it's not too late. Enroll for the second start semester on September 20th. But you got to enroll now, Tony, because when we do get back to in-person classes, you know they're going to be very small.
Absolutely. They'll be small because of the COVID thing. So if you want a particular class, you need to register now in order to get what you want. Just go to hccs.edu/now.
There you go. Okay. now the show's almost over. Tomorrow's show, we've got Dr. Amy Tan, Dean of English and Communication, joins us. And also it's Virtual Family Fun Day tomorrow, Tony.
Yes, National Museum of the Pacific War. I love that place.
They're here in Texas.
Yes, in Fredericksburg. I've been there. It's wonderful. I can't wait.
All right. You'll be interviewing them tomorrow. So they'll be on tomorrow. There you go. All right, folks. Remember, if you don't catch us live on Facebook or YouTube, we're on at noon and 5 on HCCTV. I'm Todd Duplantis. We'll see you tomorrow morning live, 10 a.m. right here.